Temperatures today were spot on perfect, right where we belong.
Jon Burnett was one of Pittsburgh's favorite on-air personalities for 36 years. At KDKA, he hosted Evening Magazine, Pittsburgh Today, did the weather, and co-hosted Pittsburgh Today Live with me for 11 years. He was always known for his adventurous and spontaneous spirit, willing to try anything. Like rappelling down a high-rise, driving a Jeep over boulders, or racing me on big wheels. Jon retired 5 years ago when he was 65, but many people don't know he's been facing some major health challenges since then, and he recently got a diagnosis. His neurologist says he has suspected CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a progressive brain disease caused by repetitive blows to the head. It's suspected because the only way to definitively diagnose CTE is with an autopsy of the brain. You see, before Jon was on TV, he was on another sort of stage, the football field. Jon and his family wanted to share their story for many reasons: to help everyone better understand CTE, to help others who may face it, to remove the stigma around brain disease, and to continue Jon's legacy of giving back to the Pittsburgh community.
Sorry, we don't want him.
He's crazy as always. Aw, I missed you. Jon Burnett and I are more than former colleagues and co-hosts. We're true friends. Do you like to come out here a lot?
With you, yeah.
Aw. As we've gotten together since he retired, I've seen his short-term memory worsen, as well as his walk and his voice.
Well, I spent some of my time wishing that my voice wasn't gone. It's just, this is the best I can do. This is a good day. My wife Debbie's here. Deb, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with my throat?
Jon asks his wife of 48 years, Debbie, to help him remember a lot of things. And through it all, he understands what's happening.
Oh, she's my brains. Somebody would have to be.
What does it feel like when you can't remember something? You know, is it frustrating, or what does you go through?
It's not as frustrating as it once was, because I'm growing accustomed to it, I guess. It's familiar.
Jon's short-term memory has been declining for 10 years, but other symptoms have gotten worse in the last 2, including shuffling and reduced facial expression. Debbie doesn't leave him alone at all since he had a choking incident and is now on a soft food diet. He's not allowed to drive. He's even had to be hospitalized a couple times recently.
Well, there definitely have been challenges. You know, it's not at all what you think of retirement being.
But Jon's daughter Samantha and son Eric are quick to focus on the positive, how their dad still loves time with family and playing with his 5 grandkids, ages 1 to 13.
He's still there. He's still having conversations with them. He's still running around and picking them up and having, you know, special sweet moments with them. And so that in itself is a blessing.
In his heart and his core, he's still dad. Like, he's still, you know, he loves his family, he loves people, he loves the outdoors, and none of that has changed.
I still got my kids and grandkids to chase around the house. I'm never going to give that up. Even if I'm crawling on my hands and knees, life wouldn't be life without them.
So after years of tests and doctor's appointments, UPMC cognitive neurologist Dr. Joseph Malone ruled out all other possible causes and diagnosed Jon with suspected CTE.
What did you think when the doctor told you you have suspected CTE, which comes from head injuries?
At first, I was kind of proud, because it meant that I had been doing my job head first, chin up, face mask here right into his head or his stomach or whatever. Whoever I was tackling or blocking, I was doing a number on most of them. But ultimately, I paid the price with the concussions that I had over the years, several of them.
Jon played tackle football in Knoxville, Tennessee, starting at the age of 10.
See, I played both ways in high school. I was a fullback and a defensive end.
He was eventually recruited to play defensive end at the University of Tennessee.
I love this one. The pose. You got it.
So the Vol defense was put to the test early.
During his years on the field, Jon suffered 2 major concussions where he was knocked out cold. One during practice at the Gator Bowl, where he was hit so hard it split his helmet. He estimates he's used his head to hit another player 30 to 40 times a game, adding up to hundreds of hits over a decade. One of the primary reasons Dr. Malone suspects CTE.
The main risk factor is something what we call repetitive head injuries, or RHI. And this reflects multiple bunks to the head, essentially.
I think we knew this in the back of our mind. I think he's always said this is because of all the hits I took.
Like many kids, football was Jon's passion from a young age.
I quickly discovered that I liked contact, which of course is why my head's so screwed up today. I liked the camaraderie that went with being on a team, scoring touchdowns, intercepting passes, making a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage. All those things I did, and all those things still motivate me today. Would I do it all over again? Absolutely. Would I try to protect my head a little bit more? I'd try, but I don't know if it would help or not.
There's no way to tell exactly what head injuries caused Jon's suspected CTE. One more reason researchers are trying to study people who played all kinds of contact sports. Doctors still don't know why some people with head injuries get CTE and others don't, how to completely prevent it while still playing contact sports, or how to treat it. Jon and his family want to share his story to help others and to prevent more people from developing it, including by making sports safer.
And even though a lot of what we are discussing can be looked at as negative and sad, I think that, again, what we're doing right now, what you're doing, Dad, right now is totally Jon Burnett. You know, just like looking at the positive in every situation and thinking about the good that you can do for others.
I'll never forget. I watched as these guys grew up into the beautiful adults that you see here. I'm talking about my daughter Samantha and my son Eric. And my wife Debbie is my rock.
It's an emotional journey for everyone who loves Jon, but there's hope that this star of the football field and television will also shine a light on the potential dangers of repeated head injuries and help everyone better understand their impact.
If I can help anybody on this road who is on this road or will be on this road in the years ahead, I feel better about being able to do that and being able to learn from my experiences.
And people everywhere are having discussions about the risk of doing lots of contact sports, not only football, but boxing, rugby, soccer. And there's research into how people in the military also could get CTE from head injuries.
It was a beautiful report.
Thank you. It's tough. A lot of people haven't seen him as much as I have, so I've seen the gradual decline, but I think it's going to be a shock to a lot of people.
God bless Jon and his family, and God bless the researchers who are trying to make this, to understand it and prevent it from happening to more and more players. Right?
And that's really one of the main reasons they wanted to do this story. And coming up at 6, I talk with the lead researcher at the National Sports Brain Bank at the University of Pittsburgh. It's brand new, about what they're studying about CTE. Jon's part of the research there. They want anyone who played contact sports at any level to participate in their research so they can help learn more. And we've got a link at KDKA.com to participate. And don't miss that story at 6.